special ones? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And welcome back to the Off the Clock Show. Joined again with Shawn Gervais from OrbisX CRM and Marshall Hill from the Pints and Polishing Podcast and Hyper Clean Car Care Productos. How you doing, man?
Good, you're right. This is Sunbrew Citrus Cerveza.
Okay.
Big fan. Like, I can't stop drinking it. I can't.
Yeah, I was going to say, that looks
Like,
beautiful.
I stocked at home, and now I'm keeping it here, too. Like, I can't stop drinking it.
And I
It's
bet you
terrible.
when it's cold, too, like it's probably just slaps. Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn. See, that's where I know a lot of people hate on Corona, but I actually always liked it. I know there's a whole tribe that loves it too, but I don't know. I always it depends on the day. Like I don't really go for that in winter, for example, but summertime, sun is out, chilling with some friends, playing some dominoes or something. Oh man, yeah. Nothing beats it.
Absolutely nothing. They hooked me, and it could be, right, because I'm a Salt Life sticker guy. Right, so if I'm that guy, they hooked me with the beach life. They did.
That's how they do.
Always so it's always amazed me. Their commercials and the way they've done it, they've just stayed true to their marketing. They've just stayed in it, and I'm a guy they've hooked. I've always enjoyed Corona, also. Always.
Oh,
I'll drink other stuff, right? No problem. It's not like, but give me a Corona, sure. I mean, that's easy. Corona lime.
Yeah. Easy to go. Yeah, it's reliable. You know, that's what it is. And it's funny though, beer ads that you mentioned. When I was learning marketing and I first started my businesses, I was talking with my mom. She was always just a fantastic entrepreneur. She had a printing shop, did extremely well. Then she got rid of that whenever she got pregnant with me. She wanted to be at home more, so she hired some people. That was the part she wasn't really good at, was the hiring people and working remote. But you have to also think, we're going back to like 1985 or 6, I think, when she sold it. When she passed it off to a manager and then employees, and then 2 years later sold it. The guy she sold it to turned it into like a $60 million business. Like, he did huge numbers, but he was really good with systems. That was his part. My mom wasn't very good with that, and like back in the 80s...
your mom loves to market.
Oh my God, man.
That's why she still hands out stuff, right?
100%. Like when I was a kid, it was brutal. We'd leave, let's say, soccer practice. We're on our way home. We're 20 minutes away, 20-minute drive. That 20 minutes turned into like an hour and a half because we'd be driving. Oh, hey, Shawn, do you want some ice cream? Sure, I'll take some ice cream. She didn't really want to give me ice cream. She'd pull in there. There's like 10 people outside eating their ice cream. Oh, hey, what do you guys have? What are you having? Oh, my name's Shawn Gervais, local artist, this, that. And she just hustled. Then, I think I have to get gas. I'm like, Mom, you have a half tank. Like, we're going to make it. She's like, no. She'd pull in, and there's one of those little chip stands, and there's 10 people outside eating French fries and stuff. She'd just go talk to all of them. And I'm like, oh, man. Oh, you what, chip stand? That's it.
Stand eating French fries. I don't...
We call them chips. That's right. Yeah. It's British, man. Yeah, we're a British colony. So
The gas station has French fries.
Well, because gas station, it was one of those, like, they come out and pump it for you, and then they'd have the parking lot.
And then they would, have the oil and, chop up potatoes and...
Yeah, of course. Yeah, in the parking lot. What, that's not a normal thing? It's a very normal thing here, that's for sure.
Here, they used to wipe your windows. There, they give you French fries. Okay,
Yeah. They'll wipe the windows too. Now they don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now you have to wipe your own windows. That's yeah. You gotta pump your own gas. You gotta everything's you gotta do it yourself. But
cook your own fries too, huh?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Busting my balls. But yeah, she was a hustler, man. She just.
But no, seriously, like that was the thing.
Yeah. 100%. They're not free, but yeah.
No, I get it. No, nobody here ever sells French fries out of a gas station.
Wild. No way. No, but this was like in the parking lot.
So like a taco truck?
Kind of like a taco truck. Yeah. So it's separate. So it's not a weird thing. Yeah.
That's even more weird. Mm-hmm.
No. So there's ones that do poutine. There's ones that it's still weird. Yeah, just no tacos. That's all. Yeah, which is unfortunate actually because I love tacos. That would have been perfect. But this very common
thing. You don't get tacos. You get French fries.
Yeah, exactly. We could put them in a tortilla if you want. And I say that only because, they do weird stuff, though. Have you ever had a poutine? I assume so. No? You know what it is, though. cheese, gravy, French fries. You know,
Bunch of stuff all in it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen them, but no, I've
We
never had one.
we have Poutine Fest here every year and draws huge crowds. And it used to be just who makes the best poutine. Now it's who makes the wildest poutine. So there's ones with
Oh
like
yeah.
lobster, crab, all kinds of shit. It's escalated. It's gotten out of hand, in my opinion. You know, it just stick to
Like
traditional.
people marketing with AI, huh?
Yeah, very much like people marketing with AI. It's gotten out of hand.
Gotten out of hand already.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what it is? It's because there are some doing it well. There's a whole bunch of consumers that don't care when they're
Sure.
done
Yeah.
well. Like
And if you make it funny or you get it creative,
exactly, but there's a lot of it being done badly.
but the
That's
copy and paste out of
yeah.
ChatGPT,
Yeah, no, that's the thing, and people don't really know how to do these prompts. So it was something I posted in the group actually. I sent you that video, made a quick little mini commercial, and that was for a few things. One, it was we're training a guy right now who's one of our detailers, but he's doing some social media stuff, and I was trying to show him that look, there's some stuff that you can get better at and you can do, but there's some stuff that don't waste your time doing. Have AI do it. So he was wondering about some like filler scenes in between. So if he's filming something, this, that, what about some filler scenes? So he was thinking we just build up this huge asset library of all these like filler scenes of, you know, different angles of cars or slow motion, this and that. And I said, don't waste your time with that. The filler scenes you can fill in with AI, just generate it on demand. And the bonus there is it takes a look at the rest of the video footage you have, the stuff you want to keep, and it'll make filler scenes that kind of match with whatever you've got going on. If you're now trying to spend, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, and you're sifting through this asset library, and you're having to click on each video to preview it, and you're like, oh, no, not that one. Oh, no, not that. Why are you wasting your time doing that? I said, stop. Because in that hour, you could be doing something far more productive. So it has places, but people try and use it for the entire thing. And so that's where I was showing him that, look, I can make an entire video with like 2 or 3 prompts. It'll do the voice, the voiceover, it'll make the scenes, make the images, everything, the video, put it together, and it'll even export it in the right size and format I need in 5 minutes. But I also wanted to show him that that doesn't mean you just solely rely on that, because it's not going to be perfect. You know, so if you think that this is going to be our brand message for everything moving forward, no.
no.
Once in a while, though, if you make a stupid video that's clearly AI, but it's just silly, and that was my point about the beer commercials. My mom always told me when I was a kid, she said, if you ever get into ads, she said, take a look at car advertising and beer advertising, and you're going to see the difference between those two. And car advertising has gotten a lot better, but it used to be not the greatest. You'd have the occasional one here and there, but compared to the hard-hitting, like super effective beer ads, there's no comparison. The beer ads have always just been top-notch, top tier. They've been great, and they're really good at building a kind of a brand community around it where it becomes almost recognizable that you want to watch the ads. You know, you're like, oh yeah, did you see that one? Oh man, yeah, I saw that. You know, it's almost like a series of the ads, and like we had that whole thing with the I Am Canadian stuff going on. Like they're good.
Well, it's like the Bud Light I was talking about earlier, the last
Exactly.
episode, right? The Real Man of Genius.
Exactly.
People have to go back and listen to those.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
They're so good. But could you say the same thing about like a Subaru ad?
It is interesting, right? Like, and you wonder why. And it's got to be the culture of beer versus the culture of Subaru, right?
Yeah, very.
And I mean, none of them could, right? I mean, Chevy couldn't. I mean, they could make fun of people that drive Dodges. Of course, everybody's going to know I'm going to say that, right? Like, but yeah, you can't really. That is interesting, right? Because in cars, you can't laugh at other people because so many people and different personalities and different types and different. Doesn't matter. They just like that car for some reason. So
it's true. The stereotypes and generalizations aren't quite there to some degree. Certain vehicles, sure, you know, but
I wonder which industry makes more, like revenue.
Like as a whole,
Yeah, the auto industry or
that is an interesting question. And I mean,
alcoholic beverage industry.
Yeah. And when you reference the auto industry for this purpose, I'm assuming car sales.
Yeah,
Right?
car sales.
Because as a whole,
alcohol
auto
sales.
industry, I imagine if we factor in like accessories, aftermarket, this, that, I assume that's probably a lot larger. But alcohol sales, even then, maybe not. You know, Yeah, like it's, if I think about it now, man, because I'm even thinking like a crazy stat I heard once. So our like liquor stores here, they're all provincially owned. Now you can sell in grocery stores, gas stations, things like that with a permit. But before that, it was all government owned, and it's called the LCBO. That's the one we have here, and they are even to this day the largest purchaser of wine in the world, just in our little province, our little state. And that stat blew me away because I said, geez, we don't have a huge population in Ontario. I mean, it's large, don't get me wrong, but it's still, I think it's smaller than New York City, for example. And you got to think, like, how the hell are we the largest purchaser of wine? And it's because a lot of it's they purchase and export as well. They purchase and sell to other provinces, things like that. But even still, when you think about it, like in the world, so just how much money is that coming in? That's just one place. Yeah, I don't know. I bet you alcohol's up there.
It's got to be, right? It's got to be.
Yeah.
And they have even harder because, right, they can't ever consume it in the market.
Yeah, you can't be seen like drinking.
Yeah, you can't actually
you
ever
be holding it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's interesting what your athletes, go in. Speaking of athletes, did you watch the movie this weekend? Yeah,
I did. 3 times. I didn't finish it. I finished it on the 3rd time, but I watched it. The first time, fell asleep after about 20 minutes. Second time, stayed up, but I was distracted because I was like, let me go cook, let me this and that, because it was boring. But yeah, I did catch a little bit of golf this weekend, and
wait,
and
we consider golfers athletes?
Well, me no. However,
And John Daly, you bet.
yeah.
Dude,
However, I went to play mini putt, and it was surprisingly challenging. So there's 2 parts to
you
this
and
little
Chubb's
mini putt
son,
course.
you guys played together?
Yeah, we yeah.
I mean, what was the point of Chubb's son also having a hand like that? Come on.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
That
It really
was
was.
much.
Yeah, and that's the thing is they were trying to, in some ways, just recreate the first one in terms of characters and character placement, things like that. But it just wasn't necessary. Like even when Eminem appeared as that guy's son, who was the you jackass, that guy, and they had him dressed so he looked almost the same, and I was like, this is unnecessary, guys. Like this is just, yeah, I don't know. So much of it was just thrown together. It seemed very amateurish, in my opinion, for someone that's made tons of these types of movies.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I wondered like who wrote it, who was in charge of that, because I agree.
GPT.
Because it was so nostalgic, it seemed amateurly written. And it was
Yeah.
like, did he write this himself? Like,
Yeah.
like
I can't.
what? I don't like.
I can't see it having been written by the same team that's done his other movies because like I said, he had a formula. There was a formula to all of his movies. There's a similar kind of concept that's in place. Everything from like Mr. Deeds, Big Daddy to you name it. Like even the ones that were kind of spun out, like 50 First Dates. Like something
Maybe because
completely
this was Netflix, right? I bet you Netflix.
could be. Yeah.
Netflix probably had a lot of control in it, which is why
Yeah.
they had certain stars there, had certain people in it.
And even a certain
Netflix
concept
does
of
that,
special
right?
effects. Yeah.
When they did that fight, remember? They did
Yeah.
Netflix is who did the Tyson fight, isn't it?
Yep. That's what
And
they
they did that particular. They had certain people in to talk about things throughout the whole event, the pre-event to the main event, right? Everything.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, check out this,
Yeah.
Netflix also didn't they do the roast of Tom Brady?
I think so.
Same
Yeah.
thing, right? Hey, check
True,
out
yeah.
my Netflix show coming up, right? So
Yeah.
Netflix
Almost
kind of
like
does do that. It's
one
like
big
Disney.
ad.
Disney's they kind of pattern after Disney with that, I think. And
That's true,
hey,
yeah. And I found that the ad placement in this one too was through the roof, whereas a lot of Adam Sandler's previous movies, there was some like even in the first one, the Subway sandwich, you know what I mean? Like that was a big part of it. But this one, I just found that there was a lot more, I don't know, like product placement and things like that within the movie. And like, hey, I don't mind, but it's got to kind of flow. It's got to kind of fit. When they just throw stuff in just to make sure they get that spot in there. And that's what I found with the actors and actresses too. I found they were just okay, we got to give 30 seconds to this person, 25 seconds to this person, 30, and then they were just like, okay, now make the script match that so that we can get enough airtime for all these people, versus actually developing a character within the movie. They were just kind of presented to us randomly, and it was like, oh shit, there's so and so, but then nothing really like significant transpired with that person throughout the movie. So it was kind of okay, that was a nice cameo, but like, what the fuck? Yeah, so it was. I'm glad I didn't pay for it, but my time is.
There were
still
some
my
funny
time.
parts, though. Yeah,
There were a couple funny.
there were.
parts.
There's sometimes
Yeah.
I laughed, right? And
Yeah.
the amount of places he was hiding his alcohol, that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
The cucumber.
Yeah, everything, right? Like,
That's true. Yeah.
it made me laugh because, there's certain ceramic coating brand that the new owners are trying to like market towards alcoholics and people with like problems in their life, and they're
Jesus.
starting to show these clips of them talking to people of like, here's these steps in your life to be better, and having these podcasts with alcoholics on. You just go, man, interesting marketing ploy to market towards those. I mean, why would you put that out there that you're talking to them unless you're trying to market to those people because you want them to get your like life steps and then buy coatings? I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I'm curious to see the way it plays out, right? Like my quote that I said even in a local detailing Oklahoma group, I said, listen, if they were complaining about customers and we're talking about customers, like, listen, if you got customers, right, what's my line? And they're like flies and they're bothering you. Well, you drew them in with your marketing. So I'm going to be very interested with this marketing campaign that they're doing and what type of people they're going to bring in, and then expect those people to mix with successful people. No, successful people don't want to mix with those people. So they're going to alienate the success. Maybe they don't have any more successful people. It's more of a like, we got to rebuild and like regrow this thing. And they're going after the downtrodden, the ones that are quote unquote alcoholics and are progressing their life. It's like interesting marketing. It's interesting marketing. I'm curious the way it's going to turn out for them.
Damn, it is always interesting to me when companies kind of cling on to one group in particular, and in this case, the downtrodden and that. I always look at it and I'm like, how far can you take that? I understand if there's certain times of the year where, for example, like, you could break this down and say, yeah, but Shawn, what about something like Mother's Day, and you target, just mothers and stuff, or fathers to get them gifts, things like that. I think when it becomes, it's like a one-off, it's a little different for me, but when it becomes part of your, okay, this is the demographic we're going after and this is what we're doing, you really limit yourself, I find. And if you're going to do that, I would choose a better demographic personally. And I'm also just not seeing the tie-in too between the two. Like what kind of qualifications or experience do they have to help people through that journey, And like I've grown up around some addicts. Some of my cousins, they went through programs, 12-step, the whole nine. Some of them got as far as their third chip. But, even if, like, they're my family, and even if they were to ask me for advice, I'm still going to have to be like, hey, listen, I'm here for you, I support you, but you're going to have to, go talk to a group of people that have gone through this and people that are going through it, and find yourself a proper sponsor and so on and so forth. I don't know. And maybe they are going through this and that's why they're qualified. I have no idea, but it does seem
fine
like
if they aren't qualified. I'm just going from a business marketing concept.
Very strange marketing tactic.
That was the discussion point was based on marketing. This is a very interesting marketing ploy. Like,
and to me, it almost, and I hate to say it like this, but I'll just say it. It kind of reeks of desperation, in a way, because it's kind of like you're having to prey on them, and it's almost like going after sympathy, where it's like, hey, we care about you, like you're included, you have a soft place to land, and that soft place is over here, and so you're presenting this whole thing to try and take advantage almost of someone's shitty situation, and
And everybody markets the way they market. So we're just like, okay, be interesting to see the way it plays out. That's all, right? Like,
Yeah. And hey, I'm sure they're coming at it with the best of intentions, and hopefully it works out for them in some capacity. But me personally, I like to fish in different ponds. That's all.
all right.
But
So what else in the movie?
there was a lot to pick from. The color coded fucking balls flying through the air, or the putting green that moves and is on like some sort of a weighted scale.
Yeah, that was. But they had to do that. You could see that because of the end of the first one with like everything had fallen over, remember? And he had to do this crazy shot to make it in.
True. But I think there's another way they could have had that same thing happen. I don't know. The first one, it was more natural. Like there was a cause and effect, and it was something that I don't know. This it was, and I get it. It's the whole gamification of golf and to make golf cool again. But
What do you think? Okay, there's the interesting part that they are actually publicly now saying golf is dying. I thought it was hilarious, and I respected the golfers, the old guys. I mean, it kind of made me feel old because I think probably when I was watching those guys, they're probably our age. Right? So now they're the old people like, like falling asleep. And it's like, oh, man, Jack Nicklaus. That was funny, right?
Yeah.
Like Arnold Palmer. No, I'm Jack Nicklaus. Like,
Yeah.
I want a half tea, half lemonade. Oh, Arnold Palmer. No, I'm Jack Nicklaus. Like,
Yeah. To that point, you're right. There were some fun moments in there, And but I feel that, first off, I do feel golf needs some revival in the real world.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I watched.
Yeah,
I have no idea who's who or what or.
Yeah, but I don't think the way to do it is in a similar way to what was presented in Happy Gilmore too. Excuse me, but definitely needs some revival. It's funny. I look at it like hockey. They were wondering how they could make hockey a little more interesting at one point. This is going back now, probably 20 years now, and they were talking about removing some of the lines. So like removing like offsides from center and stuff like that, so you could just free range skate anywhere, or maybe introducing more fighting, things like that. Like maybe allowing like a couple fights a game. So they were playing with all kinds of different ideas. How do we get the viewership up? And I don't know. It's one of those things where some sports are just boring. They just are, but there's positive aspects to it as well. And I think that I don't know what the answer is. If I did know, it's probably worth $1 billion, how to make golf more attractive to younger generations and stuff like that. But I definitely don't think that what was presented in Happy Gilmore would be the way. And for me, maybe I am one of those old guys now that's, falling asleep and I'm like, it's too much change. I don't know. But, I mean, my daughters watched it. They're young, and they were still like, this is kind of...
Yeah, I mean, the movie itself was, I'm just about what would go... I don't know if golf could... I don't...
Yeah.
You almost don't want it to... I mean, the purity of the game is that it has never changed except for the clubs.
Yeah.
Right? You're still walking out and enjoying the environment, and there's never stadium, right? Like...
It's true.
They've seen you can see like at Augusta, and they'll show like whatever that I don't know which number hole that is so nostalgic, and they've shown how it's progressed, and the amount of shrubbery and bushes and flowers and sure, but golf is still the purity of this beautiful green and I would love to when I'm older. Did you ever play golf? I played in my 20s.
I played more when I was in my 20s, yeah.
Yeah, I played in my 20s. I mean, golf takes so long to play.
Yeah.
It's almost, if you're in your 30s to 50s and you're a quote-unquote small business owner and you haven't, literally, made millions, you shouldn't probably play golf, right? Like,
yeah. 100%.
I even live, my neighbor, I don't live on the course. I live in a course area. My neighbors live on the course. I'm that one house over. And I used to, go into their backyard and walk onto the course at the end of the day. And I used to play quite a bit.
Yeah.
My car wash, when I had a car wash, we had a 9-hole. Do you ever have those apartment complexes that then also have a golf course inside of them?
Yeah, we have 2 of those here.
So I would trade the owners and then the managers. They could wash their cars, and I would go down and play golf. And you could go play a good 6 holes and be done in an hour and a half or so, and play some. And like I just had a
They're
routine.
good courses usually too. Those ones.
Yeah, they are, and they were tough. I never used my driver after the first couple times I played. I was like, nope, 15 feet off the fairway, and you're OB. And I'm serious. 15 feet, like not yards, I mean, it's feet. It's narrow. So I really worked on my irons, and that's the way I played. But if anybody's gonna to focus on their business, you almost don't have time. And if you have kids, I get it. My partner Nick, my business, he plays every Saturday, but that's his thing. Right? He wakes up early. He plays every Saturday morning, and that's his way, and that's sort of his thing.
Block of time, which is important too, and you should be able to carve out time. Everyone's got their thing, So for me, I've got my same things, but to find myself on a golf course for that long. The things I like to do with my time are things that usually consume 1 hour to an hour and a half. And then after that, I'm back doing some work.
Like gardening?
Gardening seems to, as of late, consume 16 hours a day.
All right, so new favorite pastime for me right now, and I'll have to send you the video,
all right,
is we've got some garden spiders, and these are those big ones that have like the hallucinated colors all over them. I mean, they're awesome. So I started capturing different bugs.
Nice.
And putting them into the web. Some make it, some don't. Some are too big for the web, and they just fall through, right? So they made it. Some of them get put back through a couple times to see if they get stuck. But by that time, my spider friends, he's scared and he's moved over, and he doesn't. But if I can get one to stick, and the very first one, he was hungry. I think he was hungry. Okay. Like I didn't even get my camera out because I was like, you know what? I wonder. And I put this cricket on his web, and I grabbed my camera. I didn't even have time. Like, I'll send it to you. I didn't even have time to get my camera up, and he was already like winding it up. I was like, yes, this is awesome. So wild. There's my new favorite pastime is feeding my little pet spider in my garden when I go.
That's amazing, and it ties in with something I wanted to talk to you about today because I was reading this book, and in the book, one of the things that was mentioned was set aside some time to just watch the world. And I was like, okay. And it said, whatever it is you like to do. So his examples were, different things he likes to do, but he said basically apply it to your life. If you like to, let's say you like to play golf. Next time you're at the golf course, just take a minute and sit down and watch people play. And just observe it, right?
So to me, that's driving. Does anybody ever do that when they drive? Like, just observe it, turn off the music.
Yeah.
Turn off everything and just observe the world. Do you do that while you drive?
Almost all the time, because when I'm with my wife, she plays music, we're talking, we're this, that. I almost don't feel like I'm driving. We're going somewhere, but I'm very much just involved in the conversation, so on and so forth. When I'm by myself, I usually don't play music. Sometimes I put the radio or an audiobook, but oftentimes now, the radio's off and I'm just driving. Looking around at the world, watching them, oh shit, look, new building there, or oh, what's going on down there? Oh my god, I saw a guy doing Tai Chi the other day in the park. I literally pulled over just to watch for a minute, and I was like, he was like 80 years old. No, stop it. Not like that. Yeah, my daughter, gay. Jesus, it's been a minute. That's right. So, but man,
dude, and I had to pull over because he was doing Tai Chi in the park.
This is gonna sound worse. So he's in the park. His balance was incredible. He was one leg, and he's doing these movements, super slow, very focused, and he would just hold it like that for like 2-3 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man. So I started doing some research on Tai Chi and the benefits and everything, and I was like, there's actually quite a few benefits, believe it or not. But I was just observing the world. I went in the hot tub. Usually I go in the hot tub, I bring my phone, I get some emails done, stuff like that. And I said, I'm not even really enjoying this time to the
No, you have to
fullest.
think about that
So,
dude.
yeah, it's a.
The park.
So I
Tai
laid
Chi.
there and thought about him, and I was like,
While I was in the hot
stop.
tub.
Yeah, nice. So I was in the hot tub and I was just looking around. No phone this time, nothing. And I saw, I think they're called cardinals. It was an all red bird, beautiful. And we get them usually springtime until about maybe October, and then they disappear. I don't know where they go. But anyway, this beautiful bird. And I'm just looking at this bird, and I was like, oh my god. And then I noticed this little. It's a makeshift kind of birdhouse my daughter made. She spray painted it green, and it's not actually for birds. She puts little nuts out there for her chipmunk friend. Anyway, whatever. But the bird was coming over, and it was eating the peanuts. And I'm looking at this bird, and I was just watching it eat, and I was like, damn, that's amazing. Like, when was the last time I saw a cardinal? When was the last time I watched? I took a minute to just, I don't know, kind of observe the world. Left the hot tub, came inside. I felt rejuvenated. Most times I leave the hot tub, and as soon as I walk back in, and it's like, okay, gotta go back, do some work, some coding, whatever it is, I don't feel rested. But in this case, I fully felt like I just came back from getting a massage. Like, it was amazing. And I don't know, I've been taking some time. So, yeah, I think aside from the watching the Tai Chi guy, I think taking time to do things is important. I think it is. Yeah, stop it. Jesus. But, yeah, so I think that's important. And in the book I was reading, so it's called Indistractable. I keep messing it up. I keep saying Indisruptible or something, but it's Indistractable. I've been reading it and listening to it, and I've been consuming it a lot better by doing both of those actions. So I used to think,
Can we just have a moment to realize you're listening to a book called Indistractable, but you got deterred off by a dude in the park doing Tai Chi. I just need to come back to that.
Not deterred off, because he said, take some time to observe the world around you. So I did.
Indistractable. Dude in Tai Chi. Ooh.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey, there's a blue car. Yeah, no, it's fair. That's fair. But a big thing I don't want to say struggling with, but I've realized is a problem area with me is that I'm easily distracted with certain things.
Yeah.
I don't get distracted by things like video games. I don't get distracted by, I don't know, family crises or something. I'm
distracted by video games? No, I mean that's like it's part of life, so it's not a distraction. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Distracted by video games. Like,
distracted, but
like they are a distraction. I mean that's like part of life. I didn't really understand that, Shawn. Like.
Fair enough. Well, for me, I don't play video games. So, yeah, at all. I know. No video games. Yeah. I know. I'll let that sink in for a minute. So, zero video games. I do.
Oh, sorry, Shawn. I gotta go, man.
I own two. Hey, no. I own two consoles. Thank you. One of them is an Xbox 360. Woo. Going back. I got it for free with Visa points in, like, I don't know, 96 or some bullshit. Like, yeah, long time ago. I used to have an Atari, actually. It's funny you say that. But, yeah. Anyway, so I wasn't allowed to play video games when I was a kid. So I didn't have video games, and I would go to people's houses sometimes, and they would have video game systems, but I didn't know how to play, and I also didn't want to play in fear that my parents would find out and I would get in shit. Because my parents were very big on, you're going to be an entrepreneur, you've got to learn business, you've got to this and that. That was their focus. Their whole focus was, you're going to run a business someday. So I was like, okay. So that's what I did. So I had to read a lot, study, practice different things, all kinds of stuff. That was their focus. So as an adult now, I don't play video games. But it does give me a lot of time to do other things, which is good. So for me, I always saw video games as a distraction.
Watch dudes at the park, you know.
Watch dudes at the park, exactly. That was only 15, 20 minutes. Jesus. But, so if video games aren't your distraction, though, there are a ton of distractions, Marshall, geez. So I'm guilty of, I thought that those were the only distractions in the world, though. I thought they were like, distractions had to be a pleasurable thing. Like it's, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, and instead I'm doing something that's just fun. So instead I'm gone to do paintball instead of doing work, or I've gone to play golf, or this and that. I thought that's what distractions were. Distractions can happen through all kinds of things. So obviously we get distracted at work, but I always felt if, let's say I'm doing some coding, and then I'm like, I got to take care of this phone call or this email, I didn't see that as a distraction because it's still part of work. But it is a distraction from what I was supposed to do and what I had on my day to get done. So this guy advocates against to-do lists. He said to-do lists are horrible. Most times you just don't follow them and you feel kind of like you're let down, like you didn't do what you're supposed to do. He said you won't need a to-do list.
You don't ever write them down just because you know if you don't write them down, you'll never
Then you
remember
forget.
to do 'em?
I'm big on to-do lists. So I'm the opposite of this guy.
So I go in and out though. I understand, like when you said that, I agreed with what he said. Like, and I go in and out of to-do lists. Like if I've got so much stuff that I've got to write it down. I know there's things I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
And I've got a list over there that I just go back. It's like, okay, I've got to go back and write something down because if I don't write it down, I just know I'll forget.
Yeah.
Listen, I needed a sprinkler now for a week and a half since I've been back. I finally got a sprinkler for my backyard last night.
There you go. Nice.
Finally.
There you go. Cross it off. Boom.
Yeah, the one that I had, it broke, and it literally in a week and a half. It took me a week and a half.
And it's something
A week and a half.
Right?
Like
to get a sprinkler. Like it's you could
I
have built
finally
one.
was like, okay, the yard is now dying. All the work you put in, it's about to die
because
if you
it wasn't
don't go
prioritized.
get it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So now it's crunch time. I gotta go do it. And that's what this guy was saying about to-do lists, though. He said that most people make a to-do list, and they get more frustrated with a to-do list because they're making unrealistic to-do lists, and they're not prioritizing their tasks, right? So I do like you. I have a to-do list that's not even a to-do list. It's just a don't forget list.
Yeah.
So there's no priority. There's no nothing. It's just I got to get
so
all
I
this
know
stuff
I got to
done.
get these things done at some
Exactly.
point in
At
time.
some point before I die, hopefully soon, that goes on the list, right? Before I die, basically.
Or
But then
before
there's-
somebody yells at me.
Yeah, exactly. And so what he said is replace your to-do list with goals lists instead. So for tomorrow, and he said these you can't budge on. So tomorrow, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And that's your goal for tomorrow. No matter what happens tomorrow, I'm going to do those three things.
Okay.
And
And I
then-
guess my issue with those people that always said that is I go, yeah, but have you had my days?
I'm glad you said that.
So I've never said I have to get something done
Yeah.
because you don't know what's about to happen. You don't know what's
Very
going to
true.
happen through the day, and something
guy-
might need to take the priority. So I've never been like
That's-
that guy where I've said I have to have this done. There's a project we're trying to get done internally, and I told Nick, I go, listen, I do have to. I'm going to give myself like the week. I'm going to give myself the
done.
end of the week. That's
And
plenty
that's
of
good.
days.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's number one priority.
And that's good though. Me with coding, I do a lot of seasons. So instead of saying, "Oh, I'm going to have this done by the end of March," I tell myself, "I'm going to have this done by the end of spring." And so it's very flexible, but it's there. But this guy argues, he says, make your goals list for tomorrow. Has to be something realistic you know you can accomplish, assuming your day goes well. But he said, with that, you have to schedule time for crisis. He said, things are going to happen, and you feel like, oh shit, this is happening. I have to do this now, and I'm going to push the other thing off. And he said, but both are important, because if you wrote it down on the list for tomorrow...
Which is more important, do you think? Crises or the
It
list?
depends on the crises, and that's where he said you got to make this kind of like a scale almost, where you can. There's certain things that are absolute crises, like I don't know, customers' orders lost in shipment. They need something for tomorrow. It's a big problem, right? Versus new distributor says, hey, you know, I tried calling you guys and I keep getting voicemail. You got to give me a call back. To some people, that might be like, holy shit, I got to jump on it. I know that doesn't happen with HyperClean. You guys jump on it. But, you know, in my case, for example, someone submits a support ticket. Hey, my payments aren't working. That's a crisis that needs to be dealt with because taking payments is really important. Someone else says, hey, I got this random lead that showed up and I don't know where they came from. Can you help me figure it out? That person is still dealing with a problem and still needs help, and it's easy to identify that that's not something that needs to happen right away. But there's some of those that are kind of in the middle, and that's what this guy was arguing, is that there's ones that we've decided any crisis that comes in, it's only going to take 2 minutes, so I'm just going to deal with it now so I don't have to deal with it later. But he's saying the reason that we feel that way as entrepreneurs is because we don't schedule time to deal with that kind of shit. And he said, so instead, if you set aside, let's say, from 4:30 p.m. till 5 p.m., the 30-minute block every day, I'm keeping wide open. So I'm not going to book a job to overlap that. I'm not going to schedule something else. Nothing takes that 30-minute block because that's my time to deal with crises. And so he said that way you feel less pressure when something comes up and you take that thing. So it's like someone messages and says XYZ and you say, no problem. I'll get it taken care of for you. You now move that problem to that 4:30 block. And so you're like, okay. And then the next, you go back to doing your work. The next thing that comes up, you move that to the 4:30 block. So you keep doing things like that. So it seems like it's a good method. I'm going to try it. I'm in the process of implementing it, and I'm going to make my scale of what the absolute emergencies are, all the way down to what's something that could get pushed there. And then anything that hasn't made the absolute emergency list gets pushed to that crisis block. He also argues that every entrepreneur needs to set up 15 minutes of just dealing with internal, like how your day went. Because we don't really do that. And then after work, we just go and we try and decompress and we, bitch to our spouse or whatever. We drive home with road rage, whatever it is. And he says, take those 15 minutes just to reflect on how the day went, things that you got done, highlight some of the things that were accomplished, make your list for tomorrow of things that need to be done, and kind of go through that process. And he says, if you set that time aside, you're more prepared and better prepared to deal with something that happens during the day because you say, oh, you know what? I don't need to internalize the emotions right now because I'm going to take my 15 minutes later. And so I'm going to process how I feel about this and whatever. And he said, oftentimes you've had such a cool down period that by the time that 4:30 comes around and you're about to do your crises calls and you're also about to do your decompression time, during that time, so much time has cooled down, you realize that the world isn't going to end. And so he's like, it's usually when you're in it and it's happening in that moment, sometimes it feels like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I got this to do and this to do, and my to-do list still isn't getting done. So there's some good stuff in the book, and I'm definitely not explaining it as well as he did. And I actually, it didn't even click when I read it. It clicked when I was listening to the audio version of the book, and that's a big thing for me.
Well, make sure when you post the inside of your group and you post this episode, right? Then put inside the comments, put the link to the book.
The link to the book, yeah.
I think people should go either listen or read. We'll get into that here in a second. Because I find this to be very, very interesting. Yesterday we recorded an episode. It dropped today on the Pines Posture podcast. I asked a question. I asked a question based on athletes would go to certain coaches to, increase their productivity, increase their production, right? And they would go to specific coaches. I gave the illustration of if you're a runner, you're going to go to a coach that then teaches you proper ways of lifting your knee and how you should land and bounce on your toes and ways you can generate better efficiency the way you run, right? They are what is called a performance coach. If you're in baseball, right? If you're a catcher, you're going to go to a catcher coach and they're going to work about the performance, how you can perform your skill, your role, whatever it is you're doing, how you can perform it better.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
So I asked the question because there's people that have started to, I mentioned this ceramic coating company that's, trying to market in certain ways. There's other people that are online and on social media and they're all talking about, I'm burnt out and it's been so hard and it's hot.
That one kills me.
Right? I mean, just moaning, right? Just complaining.
Yeah.
Here in Oklahoma, we typically call it that summer blue, right? There's seems to be somewhere in July to August, somewhere around this time, people just get so enamored by the heat that they just go, same as when it gets cold. That's why I laugh at everybody goes, it's cold. And I go, staying warm? Like, what? Like, no, staying cold. Like, it doesn't matter the season. People are going to complain.
It's true.
right? So it was posing this question to, all the people out there that are complaining about their status in business, complaining about their life. Okay, first of all, let's go look around and see where you're at in the world compared to other people. You really shouldn't complain. You should rejoice. You should be glad. And you should be thankful for your status in life. It's better than a lot of other people. Let's start there, right?
I saw a stat on that, by the way, and they said if you make, I think it was either 34,000 or 43,000. I can't remember. I'm dyslexic sometimes, so I get the numbers mixed up. We'll go with the higher number, 43,000. If a household income is 43,000, you're in the top 1% of the world. That's crazy.
The average detailer fits that mold. The average detailer makes between $30,000 to $40,000 a year.
And they're in the top
Average.
1% of the world. You know what I mean? Because there's people in the world that are living on $1 a day. Like, it's insane. And
the people I talked about in this recent episode that would come down to the favelas and carry racks of clothes or whatever you could dream of. It wasn't theirs.
Yeah.
They were the workers. So for literally not much a day and just sweating all day. So Nick, my partner, he talked about yesterday's episode about, hey, you guys think that you're working hard. What really is hard work? And then how can you sustain that hard work? And that's where I got into performance, right? Like, in order to continue to sustain what you've been doing, you need to go start to work on your performance. How can you perform more at a higher level? Right? It could be what you eat. It could be the way you exercise. It could be your sleep habits.
Yeah.
This is a perfect thing for those of you that want to go, hey, how do I perform to a better level? This book, and so that's why I wanted you to post it, because what you were talking about is exactly what reminded me. I go, then this is the next segue to it, right? Like, this is performance. This is how we could begin to structure our morning to afternoon, our week, and so on.
Yeah.
And actually produce more from our day.
Absolutely. And one thing he encouraged was less meetings. He said he can tell how successful. Yeah, he said, I can tell you how successful a company is by the number of meetings they have. And he said, if a company has a ton of meetings and they have long meetings and everything's like, hey, let's have a meeting. Hey, let's get together. And they have all this time for meetings. It tells me that company's not actually getting the work done. Because when you're not in meetings, what you're doing should be the work. And if you're in meetings, what you're not doing is the work. But it's only the work that pays. Your customers don't pay you based on how many meetings you have and shit like that. So he said, avoid meetings, number one, and try and cut back and eliminate, if possible, on a personal level. And I've even seen it where, detailers want to get a marketing company to help them out. They're like, well, I had meetings though with 4 different companies, and I'm not really sure this and that. I'm like, holy Jesus, man! 4 meetings is crazy. Like, it's nuts, and you're not even at any kind of decision remotely yet. And I'm like, Jesus, like this is nuts to me. It's maybe you're not doing a good interview process before you actually reach out to that company. On their track record, their case studies, anything. Like, it's just nuts to me. But meetings are a big one. He said cut those out if possible. And another big thing he said was your staff have to start using Post-it notes or something to basically indicate to other staff when they're in do not disturb mode. Because he says oftentimes what happens is you'll have staff that are working together and one staff member finishes their task or something like that, and maybe they had a question they needed, or they had this or that, and they take that time to now go interrupt someone that's actually working, getting stuff done. And so he said your staff need to have some sort of way to signal to other staff members that now is not a good time.
Or they should just ask Luna the question, right?
Or just ask Luna, 100%. I do agree with that. Luna, absolutely all day long. And actually, I had a guy ask me a question the other day. I was tied up. It was Saturday. I was busy doing some stuff. I finally got back to check my phone. I saw he messaged, and he said, I saw the first couple of messages. He was asking some questions, how to do this. And then his next message was, never mind, Luna found it. And I was like, amazing. Look at that, So, and further to that point, if you're not using AI to increase your productivity, while you're performing your or improving your own performance as well, you're really shooting yourself in the foot here.
You are, and you're not only shooting yourself in the foot. They always talk. I mean, when I say they, I go general people, mass, call it wisdom, but through the ages could be some of those sayings.
Through the
If you're one of the later people to get on something, you are the later person.
yeah.
So whether it was social media and who used to get on social media, who didn't, look at that 84-year-old grandmother.
The phone being held so far.
Oh, yeah. But she kept saying Google, and I go, Mom, stop.
Yeah.
And so she downloaded ChatGPT,
Perfect. Yeah.
and that's what even today. So I don't have coffee with her every morning, but probably twice a week on an average, sometimes more. And that was that was last
amazing.
Friday when she downloaded it.
Yeah.
Today she didn't Google. She just and she just asked this question.
Yeah. And just talking.
And I was like,
yeah.
"Yes, Mom,
That
great
is
job."
Amazing.
Because she and what I told her, I said, "Listen, Mom, you could go to Google, you could type in your question, or you could ask it. It's going to go to websites, and it's going to tell you the different websites that give you the best information." And I said, "What AI is going to do is it's going to look at all that." And then just answer the question for you.
Just answer the question. Exactly. Absolutely. And that's I find that even we have like the Google box and we also have Alexa. But if I say like, hey Google, I don't know, how many liters are in a gallon? Something like that. Instead of just answering my fucking question, it says, according to the website, blah, 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 blah. Then it answers the question. I'm telling you, that little delay of 5 seconds to tell me where it's getting the information from before telling me the answer has led to me barely even using her. Like I rarely, I think we only use her now to set like timers and stuff like that. So we just say like, hey Google, set a 5-minute timer. She does that. But Alexa is better because it answers the question right away, but their information is so limited and they don't have any kind of, what would I say, like the problem solving side of it built in, you know? So
It never progressed, did it?
No, it really didn't. Like, because I could ask you something like that. It's very binary. It's a yes or no answer in a way. Like, how many liters are in a gallon? Alexa will give that to me. Google will eventually, after giving me the source, give it to me. But if I ask something like, I've got something in liters and I need to add this many gallons, what would you recommend and should I use a funnel or not? That device is going to have a heart attack, okay? It's going to have a brain aneurysm. But if I ask that same thing, and those are called word problems, if I ask a word problem to ChatGPT, it's going to assess it, scan different sources, and then give me the right answer and some suggestions. And now AI's advanced so much that it'll take it a step further and tell you things you may not even thought of, you know? So even though I didn't ask it about something else, it'll say, oh, if you have this handy, maybe you could use this. It's like,
Now,
holy shit.
I'll tell you though, somebody's used it.
Yeah.
If you get it to keep repeating and it's trying to let it go down, it's okay. Now rework this. Sometimes it'll make mistakes though,
Oh, big time.
and that's why I laugh about the people that just copy and paste and
Yeah, no, and that's where you can't trust your whole...
you can't.
Yeah.
No, you can't. It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's not perfect. It's
Yeah.
not. It's
It's true, but that's where...
makes mistakes.
Oh, 100%.
I've told it, hey, you're fucking up. Like, oh, thanks, you caught me.
It's like, oh, sorry, yeah, my bad, Marshall.
Well, why did you do it?
Yeah,
No answer, right? Like,
it's true, yeah. And you know what? The two biggest like arguments I've heard from people that don't use it, like even my own brother-in-law, he's very timid with AI, and he's told me, he said, I don't like the fact that it's very robotic. I'm not talking to an actual human. So he's very much pro-human, and he feels that AI is going to replace humans. And I was like, no. Like, there's 7 billion of us. We're not going anywhere. What we've shown over time is we just keep multiplying. We're fine. We're not in danger of being extinct, especially not from something like this. It's just not going to happen. So his fear is it's going to replace the human element out of society, which I disagree with. But his second fear is he says, well, it makes mistakes, though. And I'm like, okay. So do I. So does Marshall. So does all of my staff. So does my wife. So does my daughters. Like, everybody makes mistakes. It's our ability to understand that a mistake's been made and tweak it. So if I ask my staff to go, hey, go grab me a coffee today, the chances it's coming back exactly how I like it are 50-50 at best. Okay? Even though they've gotten me coffee hundreds of times. It's 50-50 at best. And because it's my staff having to reiterate what I want and the barista on the other end to actually make it that way, and maybe it's someone new that's in training. Like, there's so much that can go on there. There's mistakes happen. So understand it does make mistakes, but I know my employees make mistakes, but it hasn't scared me off of hiring. I know that they're going to make mistakes.
So let me ask you this, because you mentioned that video you made.
Yeah. Full of mistakes, by the way.
Was one of the mistakes the dirty, grimy sides of the wash bay?
Yeah, see?
It was pretty grimy over there on the sides.
Yeah, and
It was
case in
pretty
point.
grimy. Is that really auto wash, or did it make a mistake? Now, I don't know, because I have myself been in quite a few shops.
Yeah.
I have also had a shop that wasn't exactly so immaculately clean.
Yeah.
And that is interesting, right? Like, I did find it interesting when it showed, and go back to that video, when it shows that guy spraying down the car with this foam, the sides, like, all around that area were, like, dirty and grimy. And it's like, is that the average detailer shop? Like, AI thinks a detailer shop is grimy?
That's what I was like, it followed the instructions, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah. And that could be from the prompt, because I was like cleaning a dirty car with dirt everywhere. It could have interpreted
dirt everywhere, man.
That's
even
where
in the
sometimes
shop.
you have to get really specific, but other times, is that just what it knows? Like, car shops are dirty. And so, you know what I mean?
Interesting,
So,
isn't it? Like,
that is interesting. Absolutely, yeah. The one thing it didn't do was
plumbers have cracks and car detailers have dirty shops.
Yeah. That's fair. Jeez, I tell you what it didn't have, though. Those hexagonal lights or whatever.
It didn't, right?
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, see? Maybe AI's onto something, you know? Which is funny, because one of our bays, we literally just got those lights, and I actually hate them. I hate them. You have no idea. I know some people, they like the way they look and stuff like that, but I find that, I don't know, something about the way the light was dispersed from the bar lights that we had before. It was just a more even lighting. I find it was easier to see certain things on a vehicle that we were working on compared to these new lights. It's almost too bright in concentrated areas, and the shape of it, I don't know.
You need some diffusion out there.
Yeah, like do they look good for the gram? Sure, but in terms of actually getting the work done and spotting, you know, quality assurance errors, like, you know, like if we have some bubbles in a tint or something like that, I find that the other lights were better, 100%. And so it's one of those things where, what do you do? So we only did half the shop in them, so which is fine. So we have an area where we can do some nice photos and whatever. The other half, that's where business as usual. But
only half for the gram.
What's that? Not for the gram. Yeah. No. It's the one you saw in the video. That's it, with the dirt everywhere. Yeah, but it is an interesting thing, you know, the perception of the world. Like, when you ask AI certain things, it knows what it knows based on what it's trained on. That's online. It has access to everything online, and so if it knows that most detailers are a certain way, so you bring up a good point though, because I posted something in the group for everyone. I said, here's some killer prompts you can do, because it's more advanced level thinking with AI. So most people go and they have one objective, create this PDF for me or something like that. Something very simple. I was trying to get people to see that you can actually ask multi-tiered steps to AI. And so one of them is, we know we're going to want to do some promos for the next 90 days, so we need a game plan. So what's involved in that game plan? Most people think just what packages or pricing or holidays we want to offer. And I was trying to explain to people, it's so much more than that. So for example, asking it based on historical data, what's the current weather patterns going to be? what are the current traffic patterns this time of year in our city, how many tourists, how many people are on the road, those kinds of things. So you ask it all these different questions. We had a whole list of them. And then you say, based on all this information that you're going to now go collect, make me a 90-day game plan that also includes a competitive edge with price wars against my competitors. So it will then study the weather in your area, it will study the traffic patterns, it will go study your competitors, and it'll build profiles on each of them based on their website, their promos, their past Google reviews that maybe mention pricing or whatever. And it will figure out, oh, this person left a review in August or October or whatever, and they mentioned they got a really great deal on a, back to school special. It puts that in a list, and it makes you a whole 90-day game plan of how you can compete against your competitors in a smart way, when you can raise prices, when you can lower prices, so on and so forth, by doing all that, those multi-steps. So it's much more than just a, hey, what kind of packages do you think I should offer? If you leave it just at that, it's going to take whatever info it knows about detailers, and if we're all out there complaining about detailers in these groups saying, so-and-so's charging too little, so-and-so's not doing this, so-and-so, ChatGPT's studying all that info too, and so if it thinks that that's the way a detailer is supposed to function, when you ask it something super basic, that's what you're going to get. You're going to be more of the same, copy-pasted. But if you go with a different approach to how you're asking these prompts to ChatGPT, Luna, to Llama, whatever you're using, DeepSync, it doesn't matter, whatever you're using, you're going to get better responses and more accurate game plan based on your business. One of the advantages with Luna is Luna's familiar with your business as well. And so when you couple it with these, multi-step, check out the weather, check this, check that, it's a really effective tool. And within 3 minutes, you know how I was helping out with this actually? These prompts initially? Shawn. Yeah, so he was asking me some questions and stuff, and I said, well, listen, so based on where you are, it's very different from where I am, and it's different from where he was before. I think he was just outside Toronto before. And I said, but now you're out west, the weather's different, you're dealing with a very different clientele. There's a lot of wildfires right now in the west side of Canada, so there's a lot of stuff going on. So it's a good idea to focus on that. And maybe where you are, for example, the wildfires, if they're, let's say, 500 miles away, but the wind is blowing across your city, even though it's 500 miles away, you guys might still be getting some residual smoke, you might be getting some things like this, so a lot more people are going to need their cars cleaned. There's all kinds of different ways you can approach these things, so that's why you factor in things like the weather and all this different stuff. But there's a lot of ways you can use AI, but you got to use it smart, or else you're going to end up with whatever AI knows, which is going to be the dirty shop with the dirty walls and the $25 we'll wash it with the scrubby that you use to wash dishes with and call it a day. So it's but it is interesting, and it's getting more advanced. But I'll tell you this: you could listen to a podcast where people talk about their feelings, or you could spend some time sharing a little bit about your business with AI, and there's going to be a big difference there. So yeah, this is the place to go get that information. That's for sure. Yeah, because sure, we'll talk about your feelings. Happy Gilmore sucked. But aside from that, yeah, the rest of my feelings, that's for my wife and kids. Thank you very much. But yeah, we'll stop at that. But yeah, so guys, play around with AI. I'll post a link to those, both the audiobook and the actual hard copy book. They have a digital version as well. But yeah, it's really good. I'm focusing a lot on becoming an indistractable person because it allows me to focus my attention in the right areas. And it's just one of those ways you can keep improving yourself, because if you improve yourself, you pass on those messages to your team, you improve your team, that means you're improving the business as a whole, and things just work out well. And if you are looking for products that can save you both time and money, Marshall's your guy, so reach out. I'm happy to see people are reaching out about distributorship, taking that next step as well. Those are all ways you can, real quick on that note, you can find ways to become indistractable, but you can also multiply time. So becoming a distributor, for example, where you can just sell a product to your customer. Selling a product is literally you just take a product from here, from this location, and you move it into their hands. It's a lot faster than detailing an entire interior, I promise you. And so when you couple both of those together, that's where you start to extrapolate your time, and you start to say, holy shit, I doubled my numbers, but I'm only spending the same amount of time at work. So it's one of the main benefits of becoming a distributor.
Sort of like snipping that weird thing in your hip so you can
Yeah.
Swing the club better, right?
Exactly.
Same
See,
thing.
swing the club better.
Without the
Exactly.
villainous weird shit.
Yeah. Jesus. Exactly. So on that note, guys, reach out, become a distributor, double up your time, and then check out the books I'll post, and you can even improve your time that you have currently. Yeah.
I mean, is that how we brought Happy Gilmore all the way back in through it?
I think that.
I think so. I'm going with that. All right.
All right, fair. Well, I think save yourself some time. Don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch Happy Gilmore.
I'll save you some time right now. Yeah. But don't watch it. I just saved you an hour and a half. You know what I mean? I feel like we should be compensated somehow. You know, the next beer, the next Coronas, they're on you guys. Yeah. So yeah. I'll post our addresses. We'll take a case. But yeah, just kidding. All right, awesome, man. Appreciate you as always. We'll see you guys next week. We'll have some more fun stuff to talk about. And check out Pints Polish Podcast as well, and Hyper Clean Car Care Products. And of course, keep enjoying OrbisX. We'll talk to you soon. All right, cheers. See ya.